The body of 16-year-old Kiely Rodni has been found. The teenager went missing in Northern California 3 weeks ago, and law enforcement was having a lot of difficulty finding her. They suspected that her body might be in this lake nearby where she was last seen, but they were not able to find the body. So this group got involved. It's called Adventures with Purpose, and I believe they're a dive team that helps solve cold cases, and they got involved. 48 hours later, they found the vehicle and the body of the girl. So no motive known yet, or if foul play was involved, it's probable that it was, but.
And this has provoked a whole conversation again about the utility of the police, because the headline was like TikTokers or wherever this group was known, are the ones that actually solved the issue, not these police officers who spent nearly 20,000 man hours searching for this
And they were
girl.
searching in the right place.
But somehow
they
didn't have the expertise or the ability or something in order to actually find her.
Amateur dive team finds her in 2 days.
Right. So I don't mean to keep count, but maybe we should start a running tally of police failures, because it does seem to be that there is a breakthrough in the broader public where there is an allowance to criticize the police, a willingness to interrogate the extent to which they often don't resolve crimes, that all of the most serious crimes that we think of as the real meat and potatoes of police work go overwhelmingly unsolved and unresolved. And meanwhile, we juxtapose that with all of these videos of police beatings, like the one we just covered in an earlier segment. You see instances like Uvalde. You see areas that responded to the 2020 uprising by raising the funding for the police force and no commensurate lowering of crime. At the same time, you see abuses by the police force, and it's led people to really wonder where we went wrong here.
Yeah, I was reminded of a murder case that there was a documentary about. I believe it was on Netflix. I can't quite remember the streaming platform. Don't F with Cats. Did you see that one?
No, I missed that one.
So this was cat people on the internet who solved this murder. So first there were videos online of this really creepy person suffocating kittens to death, and they were trying to figure out who he was to shame or alert the authorities about this guy. And it turned out that they then suspected him of being involved in this murder that was unsolved, and they were able to piece together from like clues in the background of the video, like the apartment or what hotel it was, and so the case was solved by these internet cat people. And it was this guy who had been killing the cats. He killed someone on I think on a Grindr hookup, and is in prison now.
See, I've seen it on more than one fictional show. There'd be a plot line about how people are amateur detectives and problem solvers. And it would be really ironic if all of the CSI that America has been binging over the last 20 years or so, and all of the Dick Wolf related programming that people have been consuming, have caused Americans to have the kinds of insight, combined with the access to social media and surveillance footage and stuff that exists online. It would be ironic if Americans now have the ability to do what fictionalized police officers and detectives do often, but so often real police officers don't.
CSI makes it sound like it's trivially easy to tell from like the direction of a hair or like a blood spatter that like, oh yes, the killer came in and shot from this. It couldn't be that person because they were standing on the left side of like all that stuff. Which I don't know that that's really the case.
Well, right, look,
they make it sound trivially easy to know the exact details of what happened at a crime scene based on the evidence.
Yeah. Look, I don't think it's easy. And, I don't think that the people who were looking for this young girl were, doing so in bad faith. I'm sure that they really did want to find her. And in fact, normally Adventures with Purpose, the dive team doesn't get involved unless it is a cold case. And they got involved this time because they were hopeful that this young 16-year-old was still going to be alive. And it's obviously so deeply tragic that she isn't. But I think what might be an interesting aspect of this story is that this dive team, they had specialized knowledge and ability that the police department just didn't have. So I think there is an interesting question about where we're putting resources. Should we be putting resources into getting more guns and shields and things like that for officers, and getting them, this military grade equipment that we often provide, or should we be investing in the kinds of tools, specialized knowledge and how to do deep dives into lakes where so often people are found, and other kinds of forensic tools that can actually get to the bottom of crimes?
I think about how
or rape tests. I got to say, so many rape tests sit
stuff.
untested. Those are where we should be devoting
It
resources.
is wild, though, how many more kinds of murders can be solved now because of technology, because of cameras being everywhere. Like, think of like Ted Bundy type people who in the 60s and 70s, the serial killers who would just drive up California, pick up college girls, kill them, dismember them, eat them or something, hide the evidence, and would do that and would rack up dozens of victims before they were caught, if they were caught.
Yeah.
That's just not possible anymore.
Right.
Which is a good thing, to be clear.
It's a good thing.
You cannot do, people, it's impossible to get away with that
the surveillance state, but
Yeah, but the whole not knowing who the person is, having a rough description of them, that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, which is I think part of why it's still so frustrating when you get these missing person cases, and again, overwhelming majority of them go unsolved, or they conclude in moments like this where it's too late to actually save the person. But whatever you think, 3 cheers for Adventures with Purpose.
Yeah, good work.
And the kind of citizen investigation that was done there.
Like to see it. All right, more Rising after this.